Hello, everybody. We are live. Oh my God! Welcome.
I can't stop now.
To the welcome to the channel. Here to rage with you, Callie Lockhart. Hi, Stacey. Hi, Samantha O'Hanlon. Hello. God knows what Nanny Di is going to say. So I would just like to say, first of all, that do not sue me.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Do not sue me. Sue Nanny Di.
No. Oh, yeah, don't say that. I said the wrong thing.
Nobody's going to see
Oh,
you.
dear.
Don't have to worry about saying the wrong thing. Right. I was obviously in Manchester last night and Nanny Di was out on the town herself.
As you are.
So we didn't actually get to see the full Prince Andrew interview. Hi, Krista. Hi, Nika. Hi, Janine. We'd seen the trailer and Mark and I did a reaction to it yesterday. But we have, it would be an exaggeration to say that we have just sat here with our jaws dropped. The girls, Maddie and Kiki, watched it, and as Maddie put it so perfectly, she said, this is an embarrassment to Britain.
Yeah.
Kiki said it was the most cringy thing she's ever seen. I likened it to, you walk into the kitchen and a 2-year-old has his hand in the jam pot. The jam is all over his face and all over the wall, and he's standing there going,
And he says, I didn't
know anything about it.
No.
What did you think, Nanny Di? What would Nanny Thelma have thought about him doing it in the first place?
No, well, Nanny Thelma wouldn't have been surprised because she never was about men and their bits and pieces. That was her line on everything in that world and has done the things that he's done. Wouldn't have. It's the fact that I think the thing that shocked me the most was his lack of intelligence in walking straight into that interview and coming out with everything, which clearly showed that he'd done everything he was being accused of.
Well, I think that is it. I think it's the arrogance, and I mean
that's what I mean by
the
arrogance.
absolute arrogance. It's like in television. It's like we always say, you know, don't take the audience for an idiot, right? And I think what that was a perfect example of was that he assumed we're all idiots. It was as I don't think I'll go as far as to say, as I don't think there'll be a single person that believes him. Do you girls?
No.
Do you think there'll be anyone that believes him?
No, but I did believe that small bit that when he was saying, you know, it wasn't clear to him because he's a prince. You know.
Yeah. There were certain things that he said that I thought, yeah, that could be true. That could be true. Like when he was suggesting that maybe Epstein had behaved very differently in front of him because he's the prince. He's maybe not going to have. But when they asked him about the Russian girl and massaging the feet, oh my God, it was so obvious. Well, looked obvious.
He's gone upstairs.
Keeps buffering.
Oh dear.
Keeps not connecting. Apparently, it keeps saying we have to reconnect. Something wrong with it. Keeps buffering.
You need Kevin Bacon. Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, what was that? Is it freezing now?
Oh. It's buffering, whatever that means.
You're back.
It's
It keeps buffering and then starting again. It's really annoying.
Oh, Mark's coming in with no clothes on, everyone. Right, yes, I have got buffering, this person says.
No, that's fine. As long as you can see it there. Some people.
No,
will
it did.
No,
Just
it
keep
did.
going. Reconnect.
Yeah,
and
no,
stopping
but
with
it's
the
okay
spinning
now.
wheel. Just wait for a second. Okay, so, right. The things that I found the most shocking, and I think you did, Nanny Di, because Nanny Di was literally going like this with her mouth open. When he said about the Pizza Express, I just thought that was ridiculous. When he said about how he has a condition where he doesn't sweat, because when he was shot at in the Falklands, oh, I'm a war hero. This condition, because of this massive shot of adrenaline, stops him from sweating.
Those sort of moments are particularly horrible because he's trying to not only deny what he did, but to deny it and at the same time say, I served my country here.
I know.
Which is the
I'm
absolute
a war hero.
unforgivable thing. How can
Yeah.
you question me? Because, well, first of all, A, I'm a prince and not human. Clearly
Yeah.
he thinks that.
Yeah.
And B, I'm all the good works I do. And the whole of the end of the interview was him saying the good works
I
that he
know.
did with no reference at all.
Okay, yeah, so what about the bit when he says, to call me a good friend, you could not call me a good friend, you could not call me a good friend. And then 10 minutes later, he's telling us that he's got he's flown to New York
Yeah.
because he felt it was because he's too honourable.
Yeah, honourable,
The honourable thing to do was to go and tell him face to face that he didn't want to see him anymore, like a lover. I mean, come on.
There's some
And
really unpleasant...
Why would you do that if it wasn't an exceptionally good friend?
Yeah.
Like if my best friend had been caught doing something as heinous as Epstein was, I would then, maybe because they were my closest friends, say, go and see them and say, listen, clearly you have a whole other life that I knew nothing about. It's despicable, the act and what you've done. Therefore, face to face, we are no longer friends. But everything, he put the light of this angelic halo around him. So he went to see him because he was too honourable. He wanted to do the right thing. He didn't want to be a chicken and just tell him on the phone or tell him by email.
Yeah.
He then stays for another 4 days of partying in the house.
Well, those are the unforgivable bits. The bits where it's not just that he denies what's happened, but that he tries to make himself, the good guy.
Better than
good
anyone.
Guy. Yeah.
Xander Gibbs said you would immediately
honourable.
disassociate. He says the words, my fault was I was too honourable.
I mean, God.
And then when he says, the thing that makes me really, really cross is when he says, and his mouth did go dry all the time, Gillian Doherty, it did. And when his voice caught about whether he would go,
he kept
his
going
throat
red as
closed
anything as well.
completely when he said, she said, would you give evidence?
Yeah.
But when he said, I let the side down,
I know.
and what he did was unbecoming.
Yeah, there
Sex trafficking young girls.
Yeah.
Unbecoming.
There was absolutely no understanding on his part that we weren't just talking about Sunday fate.
Yeah.
With the Windsors.
Yeah.
On a Sunday,
As Ange Cummins says, he was convicted.
Yeah.
He had served time. Apparently, he came out 5 days a week to go to the office and do business. Epstein.
Right.
That was his deal when he went into prison. Can you believe that?
No, that's again, I don't get that.
He was allowed to come out 5 days a week to do business.
Oh, no, I can't believe that.
That's shocking.
I've worked in prisons. I know what
Olivia says he made me so angry. Ange Cummins, just child abuse. Kirsten Price, if he'd never been upstairs in that house, how did he know that's where the photo was taken? We were screaming that at the screen, weren't we? Because the dining room is downstairs.
I know. Yeah, he felt like he thought he was being very clever when he was arguing the logistics of whether he was upstairs or downstairs, or 4 days or 3 days, or New York, Central Park or whatever. You felt, he's clearly so stupid.
And when he was going on and on about that photo, oh my God, that was embarrassing as well. Yes, it is me, but whether I was there and whether I've had a photo and if that's my hand and if this is that and if that... Oh, I don't know where the bar is in Tramp. Yeah. I was reading an article today and they were saying, I've never been to Tramp's Disco, it's proper for toffs. But apparently you walk in and the whole thing is a bar.
Yeah.
Like everything
I can
is
imagine
a bar.
that. Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And the fact that he would wear he'd wear a jacket and a tie if he was out in London. He wouldn't just wear a shirt.
Yeah.
Elaine Formerly, convenient place to stay with a sex offender. We need to stop funding him now, immediately. Wonder Woman, had your opinion of the royal family changed because of this? Well, I am quite a royalist. I've always loved Prince Charles.
Yeah,
I love the
me.
boys. I like the Queen. I like Prince Philip. But I just think this is the beginning of the end of something. I really do. I suspect, well, there's a lot of chatter that he's going to be called by the FBI. I mean, whether that's true or not, because now he can be subpoenaed because he's got so engaged in saying this and that and giving evidence.
Yeah, well, that's what she seemed to be saying, wasn't it, at the end of that interview? Was that, would you be happy to take a lie detector test?
And that's when his throat went.
Suddenly he must have thought, well, what have I been saying?
Yeah, but it's very true. Lorna Levy-Shusman, he made me feel sick, liar, but he doesn't sweat. He was sweating like a good one in that, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Agree, this is another nail in the coffin for the monarchy, says Kate James. What about the Queen? I mean, the Queen is 90... How old is she? 96?
Yeah.
Prince Philip is 99, 98. What must they be thinking?
I know, and his daughters as well. That must be awful.
Godiva, did you see he looked behind Mateless when the interview ended? It was as if he was looking for acknowledgement from someone on his side. Oh no, we'll have to rewind it and have a look. So what did you find the most disgusting about him?
Oh God. Well, I've said it. The fact that he didn't. Well, that it was far more than that. He didn't show sympathy for the victims. It was the fact that he wanted to take credit for things.
Yes, that's the thing. It was almost like he wanted a round of applause because he's done so well. And you know what I hated? When he brought out the mental health card.
Yeah, well, that's outrageous.
Oh my God. And what about when he said he worked with the NSPCC, so I'm trained to notice these things?
That's what the whole of the last bit of the speech was about, that this is the sort of work he does.
Yeah.
I mean, petrifying, because he talked about the ages that he works with.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't, if you got any sense, you wouldn't bring up the... I mean, what
Peggy
the hell?
Ward, dim as a broken light bulb, an
Dim as a
arrogance
broken-
train wreck of an interview. What did we
Absolutely.
think of Emily Mateless?
I thought she was good.
I thought she was brilliant.
She was a proper terrier. She didn't let him, she just kept coming back and saying...
I thought she was so good. The only thing that I thought she could have nailed him to the floor with, because come on, let's face it, we are all laughing our heads off about it. He's got a condition that means he doesn't sweat.
Yeah, well, she was sort of semi-laughing at points.
But she should have said, oh, what's the name of this condition?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
also, what about the other thing he was saying? About never forgetting.
No, I know. I don't
That's
know
what he was- that's
I
what he
know
was-
that's what he was saying.
But how did he say it?
How could that be
There's a
part
positive,
of his defence?
there's a positive outcome for a man to have.
So
now,
what
how
he
did
was
he
saying,
say it?
what he was saying there was that I wouldn't have forgotten that because that is what happened. Exactly. So,
But he went, I was thinking, he actually went like that. Oh, I don't remember this particular. What's
you
how
know
was it
who-
he said
I
it?
don't know, but you and
Wasn't there implied guilt in that? Because he's saying I was thinking to when I did think. So obviously he think.
Well,
things
you have to
like
be
that-
in vision.
yeah,
So obviously things like that were going on.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I mean, things like that must have been going on for him to think that there could have been that.
I know.
No, but what was it? What was the
Yeah.
way that he referred to his erection? It was really odd.
Well, men-
positive action.
Positive
There's a
action.
positive action.
So
That's
clearly-
It has to happen for a
He's
man.
been brought up to, think that
positive action.
positive action. He goes into war territories.
It
And
gives you
Yeah.
an insight on how the Queen sort of describes
This is
it.
Bloody
Pizzagate
hell.
UK.
Yeah, it
He
is.
forgot everything apart from eating pizza.
Yeah.
I don't recall.
Yeah, I wonder if you remember what type of pizza.
Oh my God, look what Luby says. He's as guilty as Mark as if he's stealing the raisins.
How does
I
that-
literally
Oh my
can't
God.
believe you said that, Luby. Maddie,
That's what I said.
that's exactly what Maddie said when she was watching it.
yeah.
It's
I
as
was
guilty
watching
as...
myself.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. For those that are new and just joining this, Mark lies all the time, pretends he hasn't eaten raisins when he has.
Yeah.
And Maddie said that Prince Andrew was exactly the same as that. He's a puff donut. It's not as good as a puff donut.
Whoa.
Twat.
Oh, meaning twat. Oh, right, Grace, well done. We expect better from our monarchy. We expect better from human beings.
Well, exactly.
So here's the thing. Here's the question.
Yeah.
So, all of the way that he reacted today could have been a very, very nervous man
Yeah.
who knows that he was on the edges of something and is frightened that he could be pulled in
Yeah.
for something that was much bigger than anything he did. Is that what we think? Or do we think, because at the end of this, are we now thinking, God, was he properly embroiled with everything that Jeffrey Epstein was doing?
Yeah.
Was he
What do we think?
Was he dim but nice but caught up in
Yeah,
the mess?
was he Tim McDim and just caught up in it and now he's like trying to cover up for it because he thinks he could be in a bit of trouble?
And he's done
Or
it
do
badly.
we think that he is, no, it's just our opinion. In our opinion, do we think that he was up to it, his elbows in it?
Yeah.
What do you think, guys?
We do think that.
He should retire. And then he died.
We do think that. Of course we do.
What do you think, Mark? I'm not sure.
If I'm honest, I think he absolutely knew everything that was going on.
Do you?
I think but that doesn't necessarily implicate him
Yeah.
anything more. I think he might have been even potentially lied to about the age of someone. I think
And it suited him to just believe
it
it.
suited him to believe it. He probably didn't ask enough questions. He probably did get in too deep. He probably did do the deed unwittingly, and he's now trying to damage limitate in a tim but dim way.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think, guys?
And I'm sure that that's sort of the thing.
Up to his ears in it.
Yeah, go on, Mum.
The thing that he said about being photographed in
Yeah.
Central Park, I'm sure that did come from the other guy, and it was a way of damage limitation for him.
Yeah.
to
But then he
bring
went
the
and
prince
spent
into
4
it.
days with him
Yeah.
after he's flown all the way to bloody New York.
But that's
I mean,
more-
to me, it sounds like he's obsessed with Epstein.
Right. well,
Yeah. Well, that's because he was obsessed with what Epstein was giving him. I
Yeah.
hate to say,
Yeah.
What do you think, guys?
in which there's nothing.
Elizabeth
honourable at
Gordon
all.
says Ghislaine is a trafficker. Why can't
Well,
I
she
stop
is.
them?
She's.
Well, this is what she's been accused
I
of,
mean,
isn't she,
technically,
Maxwell?
she's like a madam in a brothel.
That's what
isn't
she's
she?
accused of. Has she been taken to court for it yet, Mark?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, it's
About
shocking
her.
her.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maxwell's daughter.
Yeah.
Granddaughter.
I mean, he's thrown
As
her
Dorney
under the
Harvey
bus.
says, why can't he recall her? Was there so many he didn't recall her
well,
name?
that's
Exactly.
my worry.
He can't recall his positive
It's
action
not
either.
to say that he wasn't a compulsive philanderous sleeping with everyone.
Yeah.
Kenneth Ford says, look at Sean Atwood's YouTube for evidence. Oh, okay, we'll have a look at that. He thinks he's bigger than the law, says Emma Hunter.
Yeah,
Jane
absolutely.
Dolby, no coincidence he went to Pizza Express.
Why?
What do you mean?
What does
Why-
that mean?
What else is Andrew Pizza Express?
Bravo Max says they murdered Jeffrey Epstein to cover this all up.
Well-
There is that conspiracy theory going on, isn't there?
But there's a lot of high-ranking billionaires connected to Epstein.
There's a
There's
message.
did you hear what Mark said? There's a lot of high-ranking billionaires that are connected to him. And when you think about what Emily Maitlis kept on saying
Yeah.
about other people that knew Epstein, was saying you couldn't possibly be around him
Yeah.
and not know what was going
No,
on.
exactly.
So anybody else, people like Clinton and all these people
Yeah.
that were big friends of his, Trump, there was photos with Trump.
Yeah.
You know, what if all of this is true, what could that unearth on them?
Yeah, exactly. Whoa, I mean, it's huge, isn't it? when
It's
you-
massive. This ain't going
Yeah.
away for a long time. People are going to be talking about this
Yeah.
I tell you what it reminds me of.
What?
His death reminds me a little bit of the guy who died in the field suddenly. Do you remember? The Secret Services guy who died in
yeah.
the field, who allegedly injected himself in the wrist.
Why does that connect to this?
Well, I just remember thinking he had a lot of information. Why
Yeah.
is it that when people have potentially a lot of information, they suddenly commit suicide? It seems very, very convenient.
Michaela 91, he shot himself in the foot as if there's a single photo of him out there showing him with sweat patches or sweat. He's screwed, agreed with Mark. Apparently there's loads of pictures.
There's
People
some-
have been
I
looking
went-
online
I went
onto
and
Twitter.
there's loads of pictures of him sweating.
Yeah, almost as much as me.
I mean, that is the most bizarre sort of defence of a crime.
No.
It's like that I've
But
ever
I think
heard
someone
in my life.
posted a photo of him perspiring copiously with a drink at the bar in Tramp. I
Yeah,
mean, there's the most
dancing.
ludicrous dancing like that.
Oh my God! I mean,
Yeah.
oh, I'm speechless. I mean, my mouth fell open at the beginning of it, and I just,
Yeah.
you know, cannot.
It is quite
Was there
nice.
anything you did believe?
No,
Yeah.
No.
not a thing.
I tell you what I did believe. I believed that when he said about, like I said earlier, when he said it could be that Epstein just changed his behaviour in front of me because I was the prince,
But
basically.
that's the. I'm not being an apologist. I'm not suggesting that he couldn't have done all these things, but that's what I mean. Epstein could have really stage managed the things going on around him. That doesn't mean they weren't still untoward. There might have been sex parties, there might have been orgies, there might have been lots of young women, and that's the bit he's nervous about. That's what he probably signed up to, but he didn't realise
Yeah.
they were underage, that this guy was, plugged into all this other stuff. Possibly, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not to say that he didn't do it.
Yeah.
So, I
Derek
think.
Bowser, I wonder if Jimmy Savile was friends with Epstein.
Well, Jimmy Savile was good friends with Prince Charles.
Yeah.
Come on.
True.
Well, a
yeah.
lot of people were, to be honest, though. A lot of people didn't know what he was up to. Anne Edwards, he thought he was Teflon, but guess what? He's well stuck to this and shouldn't be allowed to get away with it. There's not a single person that believes him.
It's
No.
backfired massively.
Xander Gibb is asking whether there'll be a picture of Mark with raisins on the calendar.
Yeah.
There'll certainly be a photo of me with plums.
Oh, hang on. Somebody's got a condition here. Got the name of the condition is diabetes. I felt for that.
Very
I thought that
good.
was.
And me.
I thought that was actually a condition of people that didn't sweat.
Oh,
that's so funny.
Louise Bell, look, I feel for the Queen. I know it's
Oh
not.
God, it's just horrendous. And his daughter yesterday with
Yeah.
all this stuff about him saying he's an
Oh, did
honourable
she?
man, and well, I mean, they're very good friends
Yeah,
still, aren't
I know,
they? And
I
of
know.
course, she's the mum to his kid.
Yeah.
What about when he said we had this agreement, the Duchess and I, when she wasn't there, I was there. We're like, so now you're trying to tell us that you were stuck for childcare?
Yeah.
Come on,
No.
too much to ask. Yeah, and his daughter's Elizabeth Gordon. Such a shame. Name of the condition is falsitis. The rich always think they can talk themselves out of everything. He definitely thinks he's above the law. Samantha Harlan says, Mark, if you come and live with me, I'll let you have as many raisins as you like.
Winning!
Vicky says, have you fed the dog, Mark? Have you fed the dogs, Mark?
Have you got any sultanas?
Okay, right. Well, thank you for joining us. We wanted to have a rant and a rage. Listen, we're going to be watching Celebrity Get Me Out of Here tonight. And we're going to be doing Instagram Live. So join us on Sawalha and Family Instagram because we can have a chat and a gossip just in the breaks.
Okay.
Another great thing is happening tonight at 11 o'clock. The woman who is accused of having an affair with Boris Johnson, there's
Oh,
a
yeah.
documentary with her tonight. So if it's any good, we're going to do a quick live after it. It's ITV, 11 o'clock tonight. If it's any good, we're going to do a quick live after, just have a bit of a gossip about it and see what it will think.
Oh.
So there's lots going on this channel and on Sawalha and Family Instagram. And Nanny Di's going to go and get drunk now. So
Yeah.
we'll see you later. Don't
Okay.
forget to hit the notification bell if you're a subscriber here, because then you'll always be told when we're doing a live. Because people say to us all the time, we missed the live. If you haven't hit the notification bell.
do your shocked face for them again.
Shocked, horrified. That's what she was like through the whole Prince
I
Andrew
was.
interview.
I was.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
How do I end it? I never know how to end it. Where does it end? Top corner.